On tap at Couz's Corner today, we are talking about the UCF Knights and why the legacy 8 members of the new Big 12 may just regret adding them to the league. And UCF fans, it's not what you think. So pull up a chair, sit back, relax, and we'll talk about it right after a word from our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is brought to you by Dutch Miller Automotive, where friends and family pricing means you get the best deal right up front on any new or pre-loved vehicle in stock every time. With brands like Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Kia, Hyundai, Ford, GMC, Buick, and Subaru, the Dutch Miller Automotive family is always growing and ready to put you in the car or truck you've been searching for. Check out our inventory across West Virginia at DutchMillerAuto.com or come in today to the home of friends and family pricing, only at a Dutch Miller Automotive store near you. What is up, college sports fans, Big 12 fans, and fellow members of Mountaineer Nation? Welcome into another edition of Couz's Corner. Pull that chair up and let me serve you up this shot of top shelf college football content. Like I said in the opening, we are talking about the UCF Knights and why the legacy 8 members of the Big 12 may regret bringing them into the league. And UCF fans, relax. I'm not knocking your school and I'm not knocking your team at all. As a matter of fact, it's the complete opposite. I'm going to give you guys kudos. And the reason I say the legacy 8 members may regret bringing them in is because they could end up being the elite brand in this league a few years down the road. And it may not take them long to get there. And let's talk about why. Number one, Gus Malzahn at the helm. Gus Malzahn is a proven Power 5 head coach, in my opinion. He actually played in a national championship game when he was the coach at Auburn, had winning records both of his seasons at UCF, and he is absolutely killing it. He and his staff are killing it on the recruiting trail. I'm recording this video on July the 7th. Just yesterday, UCF got commitments from 2 4-star recruits in the same day. One for the 2024 class and one as part of the 2025 class. So they're already doing a bang-up job in 2025, and they don't even have the 2024 class signed yet. So just kudos to Gus Malzahn and his staff for the job they're doing. They now have commitments from 5 4-star recruits in the 2024 recruiting class. That ties them for number 1 in the new Big 12. Now, according to 24/7 Sports, they are 46th nationally right now in the recruiting rankings and 6th in the Big 12. However, the only reason they're 46th nationally and 6th in the Big 12 is because they only have 11 commitments so far in the 2024 class. When you actually look at the talent level of the commitments they're getting, they're 3rd in the new Big 12 behind TCU and Texas Tech, respectively. Now, for those of you who follow recruiting closely, you know the number of recruits you get in a class really boosts your rating regardless of what the talent level of those players are. For example, West Virginia's talent rating is about 2 points lower than UCF's right now in the 2024 class. However, West Virginia is listed as the number 2 class in the new Big 12 right now in 2024 because West Virginia already has 18 commitments in the class. Even though they're all composite 3 stars, that puts them in at number 2 in the class. That's just an example of how this works. But when you look at the overall talent UCF is bringing in, they're killing it. They're actually outperforming most of the Legacy 8 teams when you look at star ratings. Now, let's take a look at each individual recruit so far, the 4-star recruits that UCF has gotten commitments from in the 2024 class. First of all, the most recent commitment, the one they got yesterday, was Jacob Good. And I hope I'm pronouncing his last name right. But Jacob Good is a 5'11.5" safety out of Fairburn, Georgia. He is going to be attending Langston Hughes High School. 24/7 Sports Composite has him listed at number 416 nationally, the number 39 rated safety nationally, and the number 49 player overall in the state of Georgia. Some of the other schools that he had offers from include Oregon, Alabama, Ohio State, and Auburn, just to name a few. The next on the list is Kylan Fox. Kylan Fox is a 6'4", 208-pound athlete out of Loganville, Georgia, attends Grayson High School. He's the number 229 rated player nationally, number 18 athlete nationally, and the number 31 player in the state of Georgia. Schools he had offers from, in addition to UCF, Florida State, Alabama, Georgia Tech, Arkansas, among others. Next is Walt Claire Flynn Jr. Flynn Jr. is a 6'2", 305-pound interior offensive lineman, also from Loganville, Georgia, and Grayson High School. According to 24/7 Composite, he's the number 268 rated player nationally, number 20th rated interior offensive lineman nationally, and the 35th rated player in the state of Georgia for 2024. Schools he had offers from: Auburn, Arkansas, Florida State, Georgia, just to name a few. Next, Stacy Gage. Stacy Gage is a 5'11" 200-pound running back out of St. Thomas Aquinas High School in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. That school puts out elite talent year in, year out. There, he is the number 281st rated player nationally, the number 22 running back nationally, and the number 42 rated player in the state of Florida for 2024. Some schools on his list that he had offers from: Alabama, Arizona, Arizona State, and Arkansas, just to name a few. The final player I want to talk about is Quay Birdsong. Quay Birdsong is a 6'2", 195-pound linebacker from, you guessed it, the state of Georgia, LaGrange, Georgia to be exact, and he goes to Troup County High School. Birdsong is the number 373 rated player nationally, the 33rd rated linebacker nationally, according to 24/7 Composite, and he is the 44th rated player in the state of Georgia. Other schools he had offers from include Cincinnati, Arkansas, Georgia Tech, Miami, and Notre Dame. Man, those are some talented guys. Look at the schools UCF was competing against in the recruitment of those players. Absolutely just bang up job again. So hats off to Gus Malzahn and his staff. Now, these are just commitments. These guys could end up going or and signing with someone else by signing day, but all signs are pointing to a very, very good signing class for 2024 at UCF. By the way, I mentioned they got a 2025 commitment, 4-star commitment as well. His name is EJ Colson, and he's a quarterback. So go check out EJ Colson, another 4-star recruit who also has offers from several Power 5 schools. Now, outside of the recruiting and the great job they're doing there at UCF and the on-field performance that will likely lead to, UCF could also be aligning themselves to be the most attractive Big 12 team and brand when it comes to future realignment. We all know the college realignment is not going to stop today. It will continue. It will continue. We could end up going to 2 power conferences, maybe 3 power conferences, whatever, in the future. But look at all the advantages UCF has right now, or all the things they have going for them right now. Number one, they're in the state of Florida. It's a recruiting hotbed. You could say Texas is 1, Florida's 2. Some may say Florida's 1, Texas is 2. That's a debate for another day. You look at the media market, Orlando, Florida, the 17th largest media market in the United States. Very attractive media market. They have the second largest student body enrollment in the U.S. behind Arizona State. And they have one of the youngest student bodies, if not the youngest student bodies in the country, which means they have a large enrollment, which means they're going to have a lot of UCF fans. And those UCF fans are really young, which means they're going to be fans for years down the road. And their fan base is just going to continue to get larger and larger and larger. That's the thing here, which makes their brand even more attractive. You look at the things they do with uniforms. You look at the way they promote themselves using the space station nearby where they launch rockets and things like that. I mean, there are so many things UCF is doing right, and then they have the built-in advantages of being in Florida, in a large city in Orlando. And when you look at the fact they've only been a school, Central Florida, UCF has only been a school since 1963. And they only became an FBS program in 1996, folks. 1996. I talked about it on my live stream last night with Josh Neighbors and Mountaineer Paul. I said, when you look at Houston and the Houston fans and stuff and how they've talked about Houston getting snubbed when the Big 12 formed in 1996, and they were in the Southwest Conference and they got left out of the Big 12. UCF was just becoming an FBS program in 1996. And they have already ascended to a Power 5 ranks in an equal amount of time as Houston. And nothing against Houston. That just shows you the ascension and the quick ascension UCF has made in a short period of time. And, when you look at the SEC, the Big Ten, if they decide they want to go to 20, even 24 teams down the road, UCF could potentially be an attractive candidate for expansion for both of those conferences. Now, we've heard that the Big Ten is looking at North Carolina and Miami as their top 2 candidates. At least that's what Jim Williams put out on his Twitter account the other day. But that would only put them at 18 teams? If they decide to go to 20 or 24, UCF could very well be one of the top on that list for either of those conferences. Then, and they're in the Southeast, which they already fit the SEC geographically. And if the SEC decides they want to take advantage of that young fan base, that growing fan base, that large fan base, and the brand power of UCF and being in the Orlando market, they may just decide they want to add UCF as well. And they might just pass up teams like West Virginia, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, some of these other schools who have, decent sized brands in the new Big 12. UCF could surpass them in brand recognition and brand value. So adding UCF for the Big 12 conference as a whole, absolute home run, absolute great move for the Big 12, positive move. But as a West Virginia fan, as I sit here today, I am concerned about their ascension because not only am I a little fearful of my team playing them on the football field, I'm also fearful of them becoming more valuable than West Virginia if they haven't already. Let's be honest. I'm concerned that they will become more valuable than West Virginia as an overall brand in college athletics. With that being said, guys, I want to hear your thoughts on this topic in the comments section. UCF fans, let me know, first of all, what are your thoughts on being in the Big 12? And how do you feel your brand stacks up today versus other teams in the new Big 12? And if you're a fan of another team in the Big 12, what are your thoughts on UCF coming in the league? Do you think they have the best chance to be of the four new incoming teams? Do you think UCF has the ability to be the strongest brand, if not already the strongest brand? Guys, if you want to support me here on the show financially, there are several ways. Number one, check out my merch store, guys. July 8th through July 12th, there's going to be a 20% off sale on all items in my merch store. You can get shirts like the one I'm wearing now, along with several other designs to choose from. I have the West Virginia versus the World design. I have the West Virginia JD design. I have a lot of other designs to choose from. Go check out the merch store. And like I said, July 8th through July 12th, get 20% off all items. And if you're a Mountaineer Maniac level channel member here at Couz's Corner, with a special link that I will provide in the community tab, you will be able to get an even bigger discount than the 20%. So be on the lookout, Mountaineer Maniac level members, for that link. And last but not least, guys, you can support me absolutely free several ways. You can like the video by hitting the thumbs up button. You can leave the comment that I mentioned. You can share it out with your family and friends. And last but not least, subscribe to the channel. If you like Big 12 football, if you like especially West Virginia football and keeping up with what's going on with the Mountaineers, if you're one of the fans of the new Big 12 teams and you want to keep up with what West Virginia is doing because they're now a conference mate of yours, hit that subscribe button because I will cover West Virginia content here as much as possible. I do a lot on conference realignment. If you like conference realignment talk, I also do a lot on that as well. So there will be a video come up on your screen right now that you can check out if you want. It's right here. With that being said, I really appreciate your support and appreciate you tuning into this episode. And until the next one, Q Country Roads.